guys, I'm Fire Templar with Border Patrol, and today I thought I'd do a tutorial video on how the attribute system works. The attribute system is based on 4 basic attributes: strength, agility, armor, and toughness. Each of those stats will increase some more stats over in the More tab. Strength, for instance, increases your slashing damage, your blunt damage, and your piercing armor penetration. If you were going to use strength, I would definitely recommend it on a weapon like a Nodachi, for instance, a glaive, a poleaxe, or a short sword. The next stat we'll talk about is agility. Agility increases these 3 stats: piercing damage, slashing armor penetration, and blunt armor penetration. I personally don't use a lot of agility builds, but if I was going to use a pure agility build or a build with agility in it, it'd probably be along the lines of the spear or the longbow. The next stat we're going to talk about is armor. Armor's pretty straightforward. It increases your defense attributes. Your defense attributes include piercing defense, slashing defense, and blunt defense. The amount each stat increases is such a small amount, I probably wouldn't recommend you putting any points into your armor, as your actual armor itself will cover most resistances you need. By the time you put this in, it might only equal to, I don't know, maybe your gloves or your armor piece, and most of those things will just be penned anyways by the other attributes because they get +6, where your armor only gets +3. And if we're going with a armor blocks 1-for-1 damage, which I suspect it does, not 100% sure yet, then it's basically useless, and I would never recommend putting points into the armor stat. The final stat, which is far superior to the armor stat if you're going for a tank build, is toughness. Toughness increases your health by 100 per point. I would definitely recommend putting points into toughness if you're using a longsword, as it'll increase your heal. But for other classes, the ones I've used, I really don't run any points into toughness. But if you are looking to not be one-shot or get in the fray a little bit more, I'd put a couple points into toughness. It doesn't harm you, just increases your damage a little bit. For, say, the Nodachi, I'll just give a little build advice. The Nodachi has a lot of skills, or the skills I use, for instance, haven't finished upgrading it all yet, all relate to slashing damage, this one's a buff, and slashing damage, and this one is also slashing damage. So what skill point would I put in there? Well, if I was going to do slashing damage, I would definitely do strength, because it increases your slashing damage. And I like to go for more of a upfront approach and beating my opponents down as quick as possible. Since most people do glass cannon builds, going pure strength will not harm you. As you can see, 72 extra strength, that's an extra 400 damage. Whereas, you go 72 extra armor, it only adds an extra 216 armor. And if we're going for a 1-to-1 ratio, you're still going to get an extra 200 damage through a pure armor build. But until we actually know what how the armor actually works in the game, because I don't think anything's being released on it, we can just assume it's a 1-for-1. And yeah, skills are pretty simple. I'm going to release a few more videos in the future on builds for each class. And yeah, that's it. Have a nice night, everyone, and I'll talk to you later.